simple act like washing our hands would suddenly dominate our existence. The pandemic caused by the coronavirus has introduced us to a never imagined lifestyle. Hashtag stay at home and keep washing your hands, they said. Nature surely looks all rejuvenated with our line of sight having improved manifold. But with people having been forced to sit at home, how has this pandemic transformed their lives?
Has this period of social distancing helped you reconnect with yourself, or have you continued with work and dependency on these devices itself?
See, actually, dependency on devices have increased manifold because the nature of our business is such that we are in the capital markets. So, since we cannot talk to physically meet up with customers, our dependence on devices have gone up exponentially. Plus, we also manage a website or a platform, which of course takes a lot of computer devices in whatever technical time, if you will. So yes, dependence on devices have increased, whereas interface with people have come down significantly.
Do you like the system of work from home? Would you want it to continue with this system even after the lockdown?
No way, no way. Even though the efficiency of work from home is slightly higher for me than I am with working from the office, but the very fact that I can go out, talk to people, meet friends, do my stuff, that has got a huge positive for me than rather than staying locked up in the house all the time.
Has this period of social distancing helped you reconnect with yourself, or have you continued with work and dependency on those devices itself?
Work, yeah, we are still doing work from home. So Monday to Friday is usual office days, just that we don't get to travel. And what? Yeah, I've been cooking, I've been cleaning.
So you have reconnected with yourself
Yes.
for this lockdown?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like the system of work from home?
Yeah, I love it.
Me too.
Because I get to take power naps.
Do you like this system of work from home?
I do like and I don't like it as well. I like it because no early morning alarm bells, no traveling on public transport, but I miss the social interaction with my colleagues and going out to restaurants for dinner, movies, those kind of stuff.
While work life seems to have continued decently for them, let's check their social lives.
শুভ নববর্ষ বাই দ্য ওয়ে শুভ
নববর্ষ শুভ কিনা জানি না, তবে হ্যাঁ নববর্ষ তো পড়েছে।
কেমন কাটালে এবার তো বাড়ি থেকে বেরোনো
কেমন
নেই।
কাটালাম বলতে এমনি সেরকম না হলেও নববর্ষের দিন যেটা হয় নর্মালি সেগুলো তো আর হলো না।
হ্যাঁ,
তো ওই বাড়িতেই ওয়ার্ক ফ্রম হোম চলছে আমাদের এখন।
আচ্ছা, নববর্ষের দিনেও কাজ করতে হয়েছে?
এখন তোমার এভরিডে ইজ এ সানডে, সো দেয়ার ইজ নো ডেজ টু অনলি দ্য ডেজ অফ নাম্বার শুড বি কাউন্টেড, নো বার্স। তো সেটাই চলছে এখন।
হ্যাঁ।
Will your celebrations of this day get hampered by the lockdown?
I don't see anything hampered by the lockdown at all. Generally, like I said, we spend it in the office, but this time in the house, we are having Maj, Bhat, Post-Proshukto, Doi. So pretty much, whatever normal Bengali will do in normal times.
As years have passed, we seem to have lost ourselves in the virtual world of our devices. So much so that it has often led us to being oblivious to our physical world, where we have ignored the very presence of our loved ones.
Almost heaven.
West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is older, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads.
Any special skills you have learned during this time?
Well, of course, I had since the lockdown has started, I decided I should pick up learning a new language as there is a lot of time. So I have actually started learning Spanish from this app, and I actually gone very far into it, and I think I will be able to be very good at it by the end of the lockdown.
Okay, so in Spanish, say something.
So to say, yo aprender español el fine encerrado antes. So this means that I will learn Spanish before this lockdown ends.
Oh.
Go.
Be careful, no? F, E, F. Cross. Jump. Walk on the loop. Turn at your loop. Be careful. Loop return is control.
যে মাঝখানে
Run. Ah, you missed. Frog up. Next. Jump.
shoulder shot. Very good. A. Up.
Up.
Remember that old recipe book, which is probably lying at some corner of your cupboard? Yes, it's time to take that out and try out all those dishes that you've been craving for, but hardly had any time from your routine to spare for you to try them out. Hashtag what's cooking?
So, any special skills that you've learned during this time?
I have done mastering Bengali culinary skills.
And you've learned how to deal with me.
Yeah.
That's a very special skill set.
How to live up to my kitchen
Don't say
quality
husband, though.
inspector's standards.
Good. Okay.
Any special skills that you've learned during this time?
As I said earlier, I don't have any extra time, but I did manage to do a little bit of gardening. I have grown some vegetables, and hopefully in 3 weeks' time I will see how they're growing.
It has been quite some time since you got to go out for a long session of Adda with your friends, hasn't it? Well, the virtual world does have its pros after all. As much as you're tired of working from home, thanks to technology, you can always sit down with a cup of coffee on a video call, catching up on how they have been spending their time in lockdown. Well, it's nothing compared to sharing a good laugh with them at a cafe or a club. But modern problems do need modern solutions, don't they? Amidst the world dominated by Netflix, Prime, Hotstar and the lot, reading seems to have lost its charm. Okay, maybe not the charm, but we definitely don't find ourselves returning home, fatigued, after a long day to finally go to bed with a book in our hands, do we? It's either the laptop, TV, or even better, sleep. It's not that we don't like reading anymore. In fact, we always seem to be complaining about how our busy lives don't let us spare any time for our hobbies. Henry Ward Beecher had said, "Where is human nature so weak as in the bookstore?" Quite true. Remember what the pages of a new book smelt like? The crisp in each leaf and the odor of its novelty would intrigue us so much that we wouldn't move an inch till we reached the very last letter of the last word. The habit has not changed. Only reading got replaced by binging and scrolling. So this lockdown, it's time to go back to those old friends. The best source of knowledge coupled with creativity and imagination, narrated by the linguistic masters from all ages and eras. Take out that one book you know you had been meaning to read for a long time now, but didn't get the time. Yes, a Kindle would probably work too, but it can never replace the printed words on those yellowing pages. Such is the immortality of those words. And when you reach its last page, the smile on your face and the contentment of your heart will be worth all the movies and the series you had to skip during. আর পারমিতা আন্টি তো ব্যাঙ্গালোরে।
হ্যাঁ, সে তো ওই আসবো কি আসবো না করতে গিয়ে আর ঘটনা ঘটে উঠতে পারিনি বলে এখন যেও লকডাউনের ফেজ 1 আফটার দি আদার ফেস করছে।
হ্যাঁ,
তো
এখন ঠিক নেই কখন কবে আসতে পারবে।
না, এখন তো যতক্ষণ না তোর এয়ারলাইন্স চালু হচ্ছে, আই ডোন্ট থিঙ্ক হি উইল বি এবল টু কাম। But I think lockdown will go and it will be in a way helpful because otherwise if আমাদের মতন dense population, if you consider Kolkata also, যদি start spreading it will be unmanageable. আর যেখানে কিনা আমাদের ফ্রন্টলাইন ওয়ারিয়ার্সদেরও মানে ডক্টরসদেরও প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, দে আর অলসো গেটিং ইনফেক্টেড। তো একটা সিচুয়েশন যদি সেরকম হয় যে নাম্বার অফ পেশেন্টস, ডাক্তার রুগী দুজনেই পাশাপাশি শুয়ে আছে, দ্যাট ইজ নট ভেরি ওয়েলকামিং সাইট।
As we sit back within the cozy comforts of our homes, surrounded by our families, there are plenty out there who got stuck alone because of the sudden implementation of a lockdown. While some are lucky to have their basic needs met, with their major struggle being to face complete loneliness away from their loved ones at such a time, there are others who aren't sure if they will be able to survive the lockdown itself, as they struggle to make ends meet every day. With no certainty as to when the lockdown will end and when they will finally get to go back to work, people across the country seem to have no other option but to wait. Wait in the hope of better days to come in the future. Wait to see the sun shining bright in the sky as we all go out and live our lives again.
First thing I want to do is go and meet my daughter and give her a big tight hug.
Do you think after a prolonged period of being at home, you might not want to go out?
No, that is not possible. I would want to go out. I want that freedom to go for a movie or have a dinner out with family or catch up with friends for a coffee.
First thing I want to do after I get out would definitely be play badminton for 2 hours. Get back to sports with a bang. And then in the evening, since I am working just as much in the house as I usually do, I don't have really any different aspirations for the office. But two things: morning sports, I want to get back to with a bang, and then evening, I want to meet up with some friends in a bar and have a drink or two together.
Do you think after a prolonged period of being at home, you might not want to go out?
I don't think that will ever happen to me. No, I would always want to go out. Definitely.
Just go on a long drive with my
Me.
car filled with huge cartons of chilled beer.
Do you think after a prolonged period of being at home, you might not want to go out?
No, I've not given a thought to it.
So of course the first thing that I've been yearning to do for a month now is to get back on the football field, make some crosses and goals from the right wing.
Imagine a year ago if someone told you that you have to be locked up in your house and you cannot come out for at least 2 months. You would laugh it off, calling him or her a maniac, because the very idea of such a lifestyle seemed hysterical to you. Until Corona seemed to knock at our doorsteps and we had to isolate ourselves. It's actually quite ironic how we never realized the importance of our physical world before this. I mean, think of it. How many times would you complain about the tiring, monotonous routines that you had to live through, like a motorized doll running on battery? Life had become a race that we had to keep running in. So we chose to turn to the virtual world for some relief. And now that same world makes us feel so fatigued that all we want to do is run around free back into that same physical world. Probably then this hiatus is basically a way for us to realize all that we had taken for granted. For us to live in the moment and start appreciating it rather than always running after something in this world. After all, we humans are social beings, aren't we? And isolation will drive us crazy at some point.
I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday